up, my love? Thank you so much for tuning back into another video. I hope you're having an amazing Monday so far and that you've had an amazing weekend and that the trend continues on into a beautiful rest of the week. But without further ado, let's head into today's topic. So today I want to talk about showing yourself kindness. Now, for me personally, I feel like it is very, very easy for me to show anybody else but myself kindness, whether it be family member, friend, significant other, stranger. It's just so easy. It feels so natural. I don't really have to think about it. But when it comes to myself, I have to be very intentional about being kind to myself. It's like those muscles just haven't formed, and it has to be more of an intentional practice for myself. And I don't know if anybody else out there is in that similar boat, but if you're having trouble showing kindness to yourself, then this is your sign. This is your message that you should start. Because what I've been learning lately is that the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we show up for ourselves, is a direct reflection of how we're going to show up in other relationships. If we're constantly beating ourselves down and calling ourselves names and coming up with all of these put downs, then it's going to be very easy for us to give that to other people. If we hold high expectations for ourselves and are really hard on ourselves and judge ourselves, then we're most likely going to do those things to other people. So it all starts with you. It all starts within. And for some reason, being kind to ourselves is at times a very foreign thing, a very uncomfortable thing. It feels weird to say, you got this, keep going, you're doing okay. Maybe you didn't achieve perfection today, but you showed up. You woke up today, you did your best, and that's enough. Even saying that out loud to you feels very strange for me because I'm just used to being the warden over my life. But that's not how I want to be anymore. I want to have a gentler tone in my head whenever I make a mistake or I fall short of my expectations. I want to hug my inner child and make sure that I am reassuring her that everything's okay, that I don't always need to be perfect, and in fact, perfection is an unachievable goal because nobody's perfect ever. That I'm allowed to rest, that I'm allowed to feel proud of myself, that I'm allowed to feel good about myself and give myself compliments and feel comfortable in my own skin. So I have been integrating it more into my daily habits. Whenever I notice that I have made a mistake, rather than beating myself up for it in my head for hours, I find a way to sit with the feelings and understand that I'm human and I make mistakes and that it's okay. And then I'll journal about it, or I'll cry, or I'll just lay in my bed and kind of hold myself so that way I can feel safe. And this has been a long journey of unlearning old habits that are not very healthy. And it's also about regaining this trust with myself that I have lost a long time ago. And so I'm having to build a new relationship with myself so that way I can understand that I'm here for me, that I'm not going to abandon myself anymore, that I'm not going to put myself down anymore, that I'm going to be so understanding when I'm too tired to carry out a task that I had planned for myself earlier in the week, or when I really just need a break and I don't want to be constantly running at 100 miles per hour. There's just these little ways that I'm starting to show up for myself, and it's really allowing my internal space to feel a lot more safe, a lot more comforting, a lot more warm, instead of this constant battle between what I'm currently feeling and what my internal warden wants me to do. And it's kind of a difficult process because it's very hard to track these habits. It's hard to conceptualize them because there is this small, weak part of myself, or the vulnerable, emotional part of myself that needs to be protected. And then there's this part of me that wants to just go, 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 and is constantly thinking about the next task and, okay, let's keep running like a machine. Why aren't you operating as fast as I would like you to operate? Hurry up. And so there's just this conflict between the two parts of myself. And for a lot of my life, up until recently, honestly, this warden has been in the driver's seat. But now I am learning to listen to the softer, gentler part of myself. I guess you could say my more feminine nature. And it just feels a lot more warm and loving. And that is the part of myself that I want to move forward with from now on because it's just more forgiving. It's more understanding. It's more empathetic instead of this unyielding part of myself that doesn't take any shit and expects perfection. And I'm sure you have your own parts of yourself that you're conflicting with in terms of kindness and productivity, or whatever the two conflicting parts may be. All I know is we all need to be kinder to ourselves in big and small ways because it really matters. And at the end of the day, you're all that you have. And if you're not being kind to yourself, if you're not showing up for yourself, then who is? Because most of the time, the things that we accept and allow into our life are a reflection of the way that we view ourselves. So if we view ourselves with kindness and empathy and love and compassion, then we're only going to allow those kinds of things and relationships into our lives. So I hope you take some time today to be kind to yourself, to slow down, to love on yourself a little bit if you've been having a hard time, or even if you haven't. It's always a good opportunity for you to show yourself some love. So I hope this gave you something to think about today. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. And until next time, bye.